asked on Twitter what the worst Yu-Gi-Oh take they had heard was, and I asked everyone to tell me. We're gonna see, are they just takes, or are they just kind of say, what? That's the game. You guys can help me decide. Pokemon is better than Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm in a weird place here, as I am a Pokemon, but I'm also a Yu-Gi-Oh streamer. So, why do you gotta choose? Yeah, why can't both be good? It's a bad take. I vote it's a bad take that Pokemon is... Wait, that Yu-Gi-Oh is better than Pokemon? No, I don't know. I do play Yu-Gi-Oh more. Shit. That just puts me in a horrible place where I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm gonna just like, away. Pot of Greed should come back. Person who last played Yu-Gi-Oh 25 years ago. That is a common trend. A very classic common trend here. Pot of Greed should not come back.
No.
Pot of Greed is bad. A +2 is a very strong advantage. No. Ow. No, chat, no. You, ow. No. Pot of Greed bad. Pot of Greed not, well, yeah, I guess it's a +1, but you know what? It's a little too strong. Graceful Charity would be worse than Pot. Graceful Charity would be worse than Pot. Yo, my favorite of the kind of comments that people do. Just draw the out, bro. Ah, we love that. Do you guys want to draw the out? Want to draw the out? Want to draw the out? We're gonna draw the out. We're gonna draw the out. Draw the out sucks. This is not a valid take. Fucking annoying. If you say to someone when he's playing the game, just draw the out, you are making them mad and disliking our game. That's what you're doing. You're just making them hate Yu-Gi-Oh. I get so mad when someone's like, just draw the out. And I'm like, I don't have the out. And they're like, just draw it. And I'm like, I don't fucking have it. It's like, awful chat. It's awful. Just make the entire deck there. I'm sorry. I must know exactly what your deck is so I may plan entirely just the outs and nothing more. But Pot of Greed could help us draw the out. Shit. You guys are forcing me to be confused. I also think, how could I lose? I'm running the deck that topped insert recent big tournament. There's no way you should be able to beat me. You must be cheating. Do people do that? Do people build the best deck in Yu-Gi-Oh, lose, and then go, nah, you cheated? Do we do that? Oh, God. Don't do that. Fright Fur is a meta. Has happened to me twice now, but can apply to anybody who claims a deck is top tier when it's not. When were Fright Fur's last meta? Were they ever meta? I don't think they were. I'm Googling this shit. Were Fright Furs a top tier deck? No. As a Fright Fur player, if I walk into locals with my Fright Fur deck, I will be leaving very quickly because they'll tell me to draw the out and I won't be happy. I don't think Fright Fur's a meta. I've had it though. She's not wrong. I've like gone in and they're like, let me play your strongest deck. And I'm like, okay. And so I play like Fluffles and then they're like,
You suck.
and I'm like, what? They're like, they're too strong. And I'm like, they're strong, but not like meta. Jimmy, what's wrong with you? Who did this to you to give you this belief? Who wronged you so badly that you believe MST negates? Chat, MST does not negate. It might stop some things in a chain, but not MST itself is doing that. That's just the interactions. MST doesn't negate. Who made you like this? Who did this to you? Duel Links? God, no. Yu-Gi-Oh seems so complicated. Proceeds to go into a complicated move with Pokemon on Magic. Any TCG is complicated when you don't give it a try. There are tons of ways to learn Yu-Gi-Oh in basic means. I mean, for the casual audience, Yu-Gi-Oh got a lot going on. It's a little complicated. But then again, I've also been paid to teach children to play Yu-Gi-Oh. Not playground Yu-Gi-Oh, actual Yu-Gi-Oh, and they seem to get it. So, on a basic level, it's not awful, but it could be complicated. Your brother thinks it's complicated because he stopped at 5Ds. 5Ds was confusing. There were tuna monsters and maths. We hate that. We hate maths. Nuggies. I don't know why I thought of Nuggies, but I thought of Nuggies randomly. Sorry, I got distracted. I'm sorry. I'm back. Everything since XZ summoning has ruined the game. Not a fan of Pendulum and Link summoning. Want to go back to the days of Ritual Fusion and Synchro. XZ summoning is a mixed bag. I actually really like the era where it was XZs. That was like one of my favorite eras to play Yu-Gi-Oh! But I didn't like Pendulum and I didn't like Link either. I actually am at the point where I just hope they don't really introduce any new mechanics. I don't want to do just Fusion. I guess I do run Fright Furs though. Chat, where are you at on it? Do you think Yu-Gi-Oh's gone downhill since Pendulum and XZs and blah? The Pendulum era brought back Synchro and Fusion summons to be equal. I have never Pendulum summoned, and I don't have a trouble. I don't Pendulum summon. But Arc 5 era, like Arc 5, which is obviously Pendulum, did genuinely like improve a lot of decks because it gave them a lot of upgrades. So while it doesn't necessarily take use of the Pendulum mechanic, that era of Yu-Gi-Oh did make Resonators and such a much more viable deck. So Yu-Gi-Oh's gone downhill since the introduction of normal summoning. It's true. True. I don't like Pendulum. That's my hot take. I hate Pendulum. It's just, I have a scale, so here's my entire hand. Let me vomit that on the field real quick. Oh, look, it's one from Stevie Blunder, the Blunder himself. Women shouldn't be allowed to play with guys because their boobs are too distracting. A real human being, unfortunately. Chat. Look. I know that these jiggling things can be very distracting. I understand that anything that jiggles can be an exciting, a thrilling, a fantastic time. But that doesn't affect card games. So if you're playing a card game and you're like, oh shit, I can't win this card game because I was looking at these boobas, that's a you issue. That's a problem you have with your life. That's something you might need to work on. You're affected if it's a furry. We were talking about Crystal Fox. I feel you'd have approved. Yeah, no, so we're all for jiggling, but that does not affect Yu-Gi-Oh! He didn't want to read his cards. He was like, no. Yes, I also find boobs distracting, but not when I'm playing a card. I need to do things. There's jacking off to be done. To be a girl in the world of Yu-Gi-Oh, eh? Old school Yu-Gi-Oh is better. I sure do love playing the 25 individual one-offs that belong on the ban list than whatever good beaters there were. And why would I want to be at a game one for 30 plus turns? Hey, you... Oh, shit, everyone got distracted. Damn it, boobs. No boobs allowed in our dueling now. Boobs are banned. You cannot have chesticles in this duel arena. Thank you very much. I swear, half the people making this statement just played Playground Yu-Gi-Oh! And are like, haha, Playground Yu-Gi-Oh! Was good. And I'm like, what were you playing? What were you doing? I liked it better when I got to do Playground dueling when I just threw a brick at my opponent and took their deck. If you took all the Chaos cards off the ban list, it wouldn't be a big deal because of power creep. Is there anything actually particularly strong on Chaos on the ban list? As someone who has made a bunch of ban lists for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Scene lately, half of the time, they're on there for a reason. It's usually pretty valid. People will judge a ban list super hard and be like, these things can come off. And I'm like, I don't think they can. Stall decks aren't that bad. Who hurt you in this way? Who did this? Tell me. Tell Mama Doom. Who made you think stalling your opponent for 40 plus turns was a fun day out? Who made you think that going to locals with your deck and sitting there be like, no, just stalling it out was a fun time. Stall decks I don't like stall decks. Various chants and forums. This new summoning method will ruin the game. Yeah, you know, that happens. The other dragon rulers can come off the list. Saw this in the chat during a stream. I forget who's. Ayo. I swear, anyone who's like, these could come off the ban list, I'm like, stop! Monster Reborn is the card that defines Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah. If I ask casual people what card they think of Yu-Gi-Oh!, I don't think Monster Reborn's the first one they're saying. I don't think that's what happens. I heard around the end of GX era on some old internet forum I stumbled across when looking up elemental hero decks at the time. Life points should be lower so the first attack can win the duel. I don't want my opponent to make a comeback when I almost have the win. Holy shit, that's such a bad take. What the actual fuck? Life points should be more like the anime. Let's only have like 2,000 and one monster can attack it. Do you just not want to play the game? Is that what's happening here? I don't really want to play the game. Yeah, I guess they really like FTK. Yeah, you just play FTK. Well, Dynamorpheus, sorry, would be very mad. They like less life points. Oh, it's such a terrible take. Right, Senpapi? You want to come vibe with me and look at awful hot Yu-Gi-Oh takes? Senpapi, do you think we should have less life points so that one fucking attack can end the duel?
Life points should be lower so the first attack can win the duel. I don't want my opponent to make a no.
You just don't want to go play solitaire. Just go play on your own.
It's so bad.
It's certainly a take. Any variation of Yu-Gi-Oh! Was fun before they introduced insert new summoning mechanic and ruined the game. I'm sure I've said that. I rage quit when it was the Link era. They were like, yeah, you can only have one monster deck, like from your extra deck in this zone, unless you do a Link monster and it points, and then you can have more. And I was like, nah, fuck this, I'm out. No, that sounds like too much work for me.
I see this take a lot about pendulums. Like, pendulums ruin the game. Like, what's a pendulum? There's two boxes, you can play them in the back row. Like, I don't know. People have been saying that since Synchros were a thing.
Synchros did ruin the game. They allowed me to jack off consistently on stream.
It's like either fusion or ritual or nothing else, right?
Yes. I mean, I don't like pendulum. It does just feel like they're like, I have two numbers and now I've vomited my hand at you. And I'm like, that's cool. I guess I just die. Neat.
See, I don't like pendulum, but at the same time, I play despots, so like I give them a pass. So I'm being a hypocrite.
It's like, I know I don't like it and not every summoning method's for me, and that's okay. Girls should use girly decks like Magical Girl, not Red Eyes Black Dragon. Those are manly decks. Quote from a guy at a card shop near me. Holy shit.
Yeah, bad take.
I think.
What?
What is considered a girly deck? Like, okay, we get Magical Girl. Anything else or just
Dragon
no?
Maid, Marine
okay.
Sis.
Ooh, I get Melfi.
I think Melfi's badass.
Dude, I play Red Dragon Archfiend. I don't think I play a girly deck. I don't even think... So I hate when people put gender on something that is completely ungender specific. This is a card game. Anyone can play whatever. It's whatever archetype and playstyle suits you. No, it's a girly deck. Why? My deck does not have a gender, thank you very much. It's just a game.
It makes no sense.
I mean, I would play Harpies. They're just bondage Harpies, and I like it.
I mean, I don't blame you. I would play Harpies. If it wasn't for the Synchro ruining Duel Links, but we don't talk about that.
That's an awful take. I'm sure I've heard people say that, though. That's what makes it worse. Oh, is this that Solemn Strike does the same as Solemn Warning? These are different cards. Why would you... How do you get to this take?
Yu-Gi-Oh player read the card challenge. Impossible.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad take. I love these kinds of takes. Fucking bloated ass card with so many effects. I love that one. They write.
I mean, valid complaint, fine. But you know what card they always use for this argument? They always use Endymion.
They do.
It's like, that's the worst example. Not every card is like that, but at the same time, yeah, I kind of get it.
I really wanted to do a video, which is I take card text. I'm like, did you know that if you get a little bit of understanding of the game, you can kind of skim read any card and understand it, because they have a structure to how they're laid out with their writing, and then they also have keywords, which, while they are not made super obvious, you kind of pick up on. I want to make a card reading guide, chat. I'm going to pick some cards and be like, here's how much of the text you could just skim read out once you learned the skill. You're welcome. Now you can stop crying about cards having too much text.
On the other hand,
I also know that if a card has too much text, I stop reading and I just hope for the best.
I mean, there were cards back in like original DM that had to have their text shorted because they were too long. It's not relinquished, it's something else, but they had like long card text has always been a thing.
Okay, I like this. This is my hot take. Pendulums were a great idea. Somebody sat down and thought that. Someone had that belief. They just sat there and they were like,
yes.
What if
we
made it even easier to get monsters onto the field so they could make those XZs monsters and whatever else they want?
Pens are pens. They're weird. I don't dislike them, but I don't play them for reasons.
Also, just there aren't really any Pendulum decks that vibe with my style of gameplay, so Pendulum gave us Amorphage. Oh, Pendulum. Pendulum! But Pendulum also gave us Pendulum Beat, and that song fucking slaps. So, you know what? I'm gonna give Pendulums a pass just because of how good that opening song was. Thanks, Pendulums. Have some confetti. We're proud of you. It didn't work. Fuck it. I'll add it in post.
I'm on it, boys.
The introduction of Link summons.
Yeah, everyone has a point where they're just like, nah, I'm done with the game.
But we still come back.
Oh yeah, no, you're never done playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
What, like, you lost the minute you played Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
There's no coming back from that. You've just lost. I can unpack this one to the final, like, point I have for it. The introduction of Link summons and the format they introduced Link in, like the very first introduction of Link, where it was the one zone, you could only summon an extra deck monster to that one zone. If you didn't play Links, you weren't getting any extra deck monsters out until that one was gone. That was bad, right? That was a shit format. Was definitely the time where I took a break. However, they've sort of retconned that. So, like, Master Rule 4, kind of bad. That's why people don't like Links, I swear. It's because they were just introduced in a bad way, and now everyone has a bad memory of Links. But other than that, they're not the worst.
However, we can talk about Link 1s all day.
Oh,
Link 1s were a mistake and still are.
They're
Can't
bad.
link with anything. It doesn't make sense.
You're linking with yourself. We've established that that's called having a self-reflection moment. Also, in that self-reflection moment, you decided to go into a Link 1, and 9 times out of 10, a Link 1 will make your opponent hate you. Flip decks only win with slow play. What flip decks do we have? We have Ghost Trick. Penguins have a lot of flip.
Crawlers.
What flip deck doesn't stall?
I think you just have to. Like, that's just part of the flip strategy. Subterrors,
Yeah.
crawlers.
It isn't the flip deck's fault. Like, Manny, a bug is less stall and more I destroyed the board, and now hooray.
Technically, Prediction Princess.
I feel like I'll let flip decks pass. I don't feel like that's too bad a take. You need hand traps in your deck if you want to win. I mean, they help.
Is there a deck that doesn't use hand traps right now?
I don't think so. I think, like, at a certain point, hand traps did become... I wouldn't say they guarantee you a win, but they will definitely be helpful. That's not a hot take at all. I mean, I think it might just be a fact that you might... Like, hand traps will help you out with the game.
Exactly.
Like, when they released Duel Devastator, and that was supposed to be, like, here's a bunch of staple cards that kind of need to run in decks, those were, like, a lot of hand traps. But don't act like we haven't had hand traps since the game began, chat. Kariba amiibo was a thing, and that is a hand trap. We've had hand traps since the beginning. Old Yu-Gi-Oh had so much more variety.
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. They all play the same deck.
If you want that, though, there is a format for you. I'm not going to gatekeep Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm just saying I don't want to go back to old Yu-Gi-Oh! So if you want to go play GOAT, go have fun. I will not be seeing you there. This game sucks because it requires you to read the cards.
Shit.
Oh, right.
I mean, go play poker? I don't know what to tell them.
What's
Like,
a game where you don't have to read? Go play
Pokemon.
Snap. There you go.
Yeah.
Go play a game of Snap. Then you don't have to read cards. Reading cards is... You can't get mad at the game for reading cards. That's so... oh my god, whoever said that. That's such a ridiculous take. Mystic Mine is good for the game.
No.
Worst take. Worst take so far.
That's up there for one of the worst takes. Yeah, no. Mystic Mine sucks ass. We will happily see that card burn. There's no such thing as bricking.
Yeah, lies. Someone's never played Blue Eyes.
Oh, but they probably have because it was the best deck when the first 2 decks came out. There's no such thing as bricking. Tell that to my Bakura deck. Tell me my Bakura deck doesn't know how to brick. 20 what turns to try and find a single F? People do definitely go to, I'm just bricking though, right? Like they're like, oh, I only lost because I bricked. Like people will do that.
If my deck isn't bad, I just bricked.
Yeah,
for the 5th time today.
Unban Maxi. It'll bring meta decks in line. Don't unban Maxi.
No.
Don't do that one.
There's
Don't.
a lot of things to do. Banning Maxi isn't going to fix the format. Trust.
If you want to play with Maxi, I guess you can play Master Duel. Hey, this one's Fusion sucks. Synchro Supremacy. Also Synchro over Resonators. All right, fuck it. This take's immediately shit.
This take is horrible because
This
Red
take
Eyes are
sucks.
fusions.
This take already sucks. It's mean about my Resonators, and I have a personal grudge with this take.
No.
10-second best deck? Oh no. You're just gunning for blood.
Okay, that explains everything.
Yeah, that tracks. Pot of Greed can come off the ban list any day. Drawing 2 is not broken at all. Then proceeds to show me other draw 2 cards with harsh costs that are still played, which is like you literally speak against your point. I love that take that Pot of Greed should come back. I love that one. It's so good.
That card can stay banned forever. There are cards that should just never be unbanned.
I
Like
think
that
that's one of them.
and Shockmaster.
There's just certain cards that live on the ban list. That's their life now. Yeah, most cards that let you draw for that level have like a stupid cost. You gotta banish a bunch of cards from your extra deck. That's your cost for getting that. I think Pot of Greed's a little too powerful, but for some reason people do not like that take. You wouldn't have won if you didn't play a Floodgate. Next game, side decks in Mystic Mine and Skill Drain. Plays it, looks at me like I'm crazy as he complains about Floodgates. Wait, hang on, that actually happened. So you were at like a card store playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And you played a Floodgate. But then in the next game, he side decks in Mystic Mine and Skill Drain and then thinks you're the asshole. That sounds exactly like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player. I'm gonna be honest.
People love to complain about. I had this guy come into my chat. I have it quoted. He was upset because I was playing Layer of Darkness, and he's like, "Oh, your deck only wins because you top deck well, and then your opponent just scoops." And then I told him to cry about it, but then I was like, "What do you play?" And he's like, "Oh, I play Thunder Dragons." I was like, "Oh, you like Colossus, don't you? That Floodgate on legs, arguably one of the worst ones." And he said he plays Grass, and Grass decks have decision making with little to no luck issue, except when playing against solitary decks that get lucky like your deck. My deck can out any board. And I was just like, all right, buddy. People are,
Yu-Gi-Oh! Players do be Yu-Gi-Oh! Players. I have, like, a lot of nice memories of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community, but there are some that just stick out. Like I said, there was one that I explained on Stevie's that was like, it's not a hot take. It was just, well, I guess it was a hot take, but it was a fucking awful take. So I'm at an event. I think I was dueling, and they were like, hey, can I have a duel? And I was like, sure, let's have a duel. And I sit down with this guy, and there's a bunch of people with me, and then he makes everything I do have somehow having to be about how I have to, like, I must want to have sex with him. So, like, I'd be like...
This is in person?
Yeah, no, this is in person. So I'm, like, sat there, and I'm like, I show you a Blue Eyes, I bring out a Blue Eyes alternative, and he's like, yeah, that definitely means you want to fuck me. And I'm like, sorry, I just want to summon a dragon to the field, honestly. And then he just spent the whole time talking about how I must want to bang him. And I was like, if girl and play Yu-Gi-Oh! Must want to bang this random dude.
Wait, what deck was he playing?
I don't even remember. Dude, I wanted to get away from that shit. I was like, I'm leaving, dude. The thirst was real. Yeah, if girl play Yu-Gi-Oh, she must think I'm cool. I did not think he was cool. Okay, I now think I've got them all. Did I do it? Dinosaurs are meta and UCT should be banned. All right, Red Claw. In the character clash for the charity thing, UCT was kind of scary and probably should have actually been banned. My bad. How dinosaurs are fucking scary though.
They're kind of like in the same mindset of like Emancipator, where they just keep going and going and going and going, and it feels like you can't stop them.
Yeah, dinosaurs can do a lot.
Yeah, I mean, just top deck Maxi, right?
Yeah, just draw the out, bro.
Draw the out.
Just draw the out. But dinosaurs are scary. Yeah, why do you think I never dual Hasher? I want to watch like a 10-minute combo of dinosaurs being dinosaurs. It's like watching a fucking Walking with Dinosaurs documentary on a Yu-Gi-Oh turn. And here we see the resident dinosaur player setting up their board. Their opponent watches in horror as it's 10 minutes and they left the oven on. This duel has lost their attention. Meanwhile, the dinosaurs are still setting up. Now there is a skull buggy. You know what? Sure, I'll allow it. I think
it's so generic, I can't disagree.
I'm just like, yeah, I'll allow it. All right, then. Oh, I like this one. This is bad. This is just a generally bad take. Archetypes limit creativity. No.
Nah, they encourage it.
Generic decks that are just all generic cards with no real synergy, but like do combo lines together, but they're not, there's nothing about them. It's just a bunch of random cards that do good things.
This is how you get into a pile deck meta, and that's not fun. Pile decks are just, ugh. Yeah, archetypes make the game cool.
They do. First take I've seen is people saying Master Duel doesn't make you a competent Yu-Gi-Oh player. It's watered down OCG without a side deck.
That's a bad take.
That is a bad take. I think I'm a significantly better Yu-Gi-Oh player because I play Master Duel. Slifer is the worst god card. Meanwhile, Ra needs half a deck of support and Obelisk needs 2 other monsters to use his ability, but Slifer can shut down Lynx by himself. I mean, that's gotta be, like, subjective, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Ra, but everyone has a different opinion.
Well, fuck you, I think it's Obelisk. I once cosplayed Obelisk and made a very large headpiece for it. I regretted my life decisions. Yeah, that's terrible.
But yeah, no, I think Ra, the chicken's the worst one.
The only good way to play Yu-Gi-Oh is the normal way. Maybe Goat or Edison, I guess, too, but none of this alt format stuff. Words from a shop owner at locals that I no longer go to.
Imagine trying to play with variety.
I love that it's just, now I don't go to that shop anymore. Now I am done skis with that shop. We need more DDD support. I will stab a DDD card into your face. They have so much.
You know what they don't have? An animation.
None of them.
Not a single one.
No, well, I guess that's the hot take. They need an animation. They don't need more support. They've got to be one of the most supported archetypes I've seen.
I mean, they have Link's Fusion, Xyz, and Synchros.
They have literally every summoning method. When you need a literal flowchart to play your archetype, you know it has a fuck ton of support. I think I did it. And those were the worst takes about Yu-Gi-Oh that you guys could muster. Which one do you guys think is the worst? You can let me know in the Twitch comments right now live, or if this is YouTube you're watching on, then you let me know in the YouTube comment section that I definitely, totally dare to read. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Also, thank you for 6K subs on YouTube, by the way. Very pog. My ban lists are fine. Copium. Maybe that's my bad take.
Your ban lists are good?
Yeah, that's my bad take. There you go, that's my bad take. My ban lists are good. And no one will ever complain.
You versus me, competition for the victory. I can be the best one day and make history. Swing into action. Are you ready to play? Challenge anyone, anywhere, any day. You want to take a chance?